alligator. And I believe his name was Ramon or some shit. Okay, this starts out. I got to go off the dome piece and remember because I was trying to do something else, but I didn't remember. I couldn't find it, so I saw this like 2 weeks ago. So this how it go. A little girl, I believe it's Manhattan. She has a pet alligator, and the mother and the father didn't want it in the house. So she flushed it. All right, and I believe from that point on, she was interested in, I forgot the kind of animal you call alligators, herpetologists or some shit, something to do with alligators and lizards. Anyway, she flushed it. So then, years later, it picks back up, and now she's an adult, and I guess she got the reptile syndrome by then, where she got to be around lizards and shit. So, some point in the movie, people in the subway are disappearing and shit. And I believe a homeless person in the subway system, you know, she runs out and shit, and she's ranting and raving about, you know, she ran away from an alligator or some shit. You know how people, they're like, oh, she's crazy and shit, this bitch is nuts. So, during the movie, they're hearing more and more about something in the subway. And either, I believe he was the mayor or something. You know, he wanted to put a stop to it. And there's a cop. He goes down there, and during that time, a younger cop who was a rookie, he winds up getting attacked, and he sees him. He's trying to get out the manhole, but it's closed, and the guy that's still down there, he gets snatched, and he gets pulled out, but he already saw the gator. So now he's stuck. He's stuck on find out what it is that snatched his partner. So he goes down there, and now people from City Hall, the mayor, whoever, they telling them, you know, we got to find this gator. So because of what happened to him, he wants to go down there and find this gator and kill it. Also, I didn't know, but you know, crocodiles and gators, I think they said that crocodiles are bigger than gators. I didn't know that, and their snouts two different shapes. Anyway, so he goes down there, and two or three things happen in the movie. More people get killed, more sightings, and then they want to flush it out. So when they try to flush it out, they got to the point where they got people going into the sewer systems from different points. And all this time now, it's a smart ass fucking gator. He figures out a way how to get out. Corniest part of the movie is he busts through the fucking sidewalk. And now he's on the street, and everybody's seeing him, and everybody's running. So news gets back to the cop, and now the cop, with his revengeful ass, he decided to hunt it down. So there was a place in the city where they had like a reservoir, and that's where the alligator goes. And they also hired this hunter, a big game hunter. You know, he's hunted all kind of shit in his life and shit. So the police chief now, he goes and hire him, which pisses the cop off. So now he's down there, and he's looking for the alligator, and there's 2 or 3 sightings, and they run into a pile of shit. It's some funny parts of the movie, what he said when he found it. He said, oh, that's a big pile of shit. But it was the gator, you know, and you could tell how big the gator is by their stool. So as the movie goes on, he goes down there. And I say fortunately because he was a pain in the ass, because he thought he knew everything. He goes down the alley. He gets one of the kids. He gets a bunch of kids to go down with him because they know the area. He's not from New York. And they go down there and they find it. And one kid goes down there with him. And then the kid hears the screaming. And he runs to see where he's at. And the goddamn alligator got this motherfucker in his mouth. And 2 minutes later, now the alligator has swallowed his ass. So, you know, they start pursuing the alligator. He goes in the reservoir. and he comes out, and now they got. Oh no! Before the guy got killed, the hunter got killed. He was pissed off because they was in that big reservoir, and they was like dropping bombs down there to bring the gator up. He said that's real stupid. So that didn't work. So then they wound up tracking him. He wound up tracking him down on the street, and he goes into this dark alley, and he confronts the alligator, and that's when the alligator shoots his ass up. So what happened was they wound up tracking him down, and basically they wound up setting charges and blew his ass up. It's one of those 80s movies, or even 70s, because I talked about another movie with this. I talked about Chud. It was in Underground also. You know, I guess it was popular also because of Alligator in Manhattan. So they wound up not catching it, but they wound up blowing it up. And as you see, this is not going to be that long with video. So what happened was at the end of the movie, you know how they do. They see somebody, the camera go back down into the subway, and they find a drain pipe, and the water come out the drain pipe. And right before the movie goes off, you saw a baby alligator fall out the drain pipe, and then it goes off. So I guess that's why, because I didn't know that they made Alligator 2, which I definitely didn't see, because most of the time when they make a part 2 of a movie, especially in that era, it's garbage. So I know I'm not going to see it. If I do watch it, I'm just going to pull it up, and I'm going to like scroll through it and see if it's as bad as I think it's going to be, because it's supposed to be some years after. And some movies you just need to leave alone, because that was a good premise to the movie. But that's the last place you would expect to ever see an alligator. So it was a good movie. I like the way they did it. Whenever they make something big, they do a close up to make it look bigger than it really is. And it had to be like 15, 20 feet, some shit like that. And I think they said only crocodiles get that big. So it was a huge alligator. And during the whole movie, the female, she was going down there with the cop, and they were both hunting it. And they was running back and forth. Every time they hear a sighting, they run to the spot. They hear another sighting, they run to the spot. So that's when they devised the plan to blow it up. So they wound up blowing it up at the end. So it was a pretty good movie. It's I don't know. I think it's more of a good watch for people from New York than anywhere else, because what it does, it shows places in New York that are still there, but they're not there. Meaning, it's in the area where it's a bunch of warehouses. Now, back in the 70s and 80s, the artists used to go into the abandoned buildings, and they used to put up their art, all their paintings and everything up there. You got a lot of writers and artists and painters and all kind of people that used to use that area to do all their artwork. So now looking at how it looks now is totally different. That's Lower Manhattan, and it's all, what's the word I'm looking for? When it's gentrified. First of all, they gutted all the buildings. They kept the outside facade to look the way they used to, but now they are all apartments and condos, and they cost millions of dollars. But I always watch YouTube videos that show the area now, and there's nothing down there but rich people. I can't say just white, black, anybody who's rich is down there. And now they chopped up some big ass studio apartments into, let's say there was warehouses. You could put like 3 or 4 fucking apartments in one warehouse. More than that. So it was good to see the old New York. And they show places that I knew from when I was a kid. So I think you would like this more if you was a New Yorker and you've been to them places. But then again, when these movies during that era, that wasn't a place that I would even go to visit, because that's where they had a bunch of drug addicts and prostitutes, and I think they call them, I don't want to say it incorrectly, but transvestites. They had an area in Lower Manhattan where they only worked. And all the time I was thinking that they were women. No, they weren't women. I thought they were straight up prostitutes. No, they wasn't. So all those areas you used to not go to, now it's all expensive apartments, expensive condos, all that stuff. So that's why I think you would appreciate it more if you was from New York and was from that era. And I like seeing the old parts of New York, you know. So it was good to me. Well, and like I said, for the era, it was good the way they did it, because you would never expect an alligator in Manhattan. So they did it good. Whoever did that movie was a thinker. They said, "What if I did such and such?" Now, Chud, what they just talked about, Alligator to me could happen more than Chud, even though Chud was about the same premise, kind of. But Alligator was more real because of, you think about how the gator could have gotten there. So it was good. It was good. So that's the end for that one. Like I said, it's Alligator. I'm going to put all the information in. So if you want to see what the old Manhattan looked like, you can go there and you can check that out. And there was also a movie it was Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas' wife was cheating on him with an artist that was from that same area. And his apartment was one big ass huge room. I can't think of the name of the movie, but it was an old Mike. I can't say an old Michael Douglas movie because he only got old movies. But it was good. And it was another place in Lower Manhattan. So yeah, but that's it. I hope y'all like this review. Hit me up, let me know what you think. You got some more old school movies that you don't think that people have seen, let me know. Like, I kind of want to do Orca, but I don't know, because I know that Jaws was mad popular, but I don't know if Orca, which was an excellent movie, is as popular. I don't know if it was too popular where I don't want to do a review, because I want to do reviews of movies that I think people haven't seen. That's why I haven't been doing, like, I'm not going to do Grizzly, because people should have seen Grizzly. You know, I'm not going to do Jaws, because everybody sees Jaws, but I'll figure it out. But anyway, like I said, let me know. It's Alligator. Let me know what you think about it. I appreciate y'all as always. I love y'all. Y'all be safe. Peace.